working. Hi everyone, welcome to my webinar. I'm going to start in a few moments. In the meantime, make yourself comfortable, grab a piece of paper and a pen if you need to. We'll start very soon and learn how to write a killer press release that can get you featured in magazines, publications, online. Hi everyone, welcome. It's great to have you here today. I'm very excited to share with you all this valuable information that I've learned in my years of experience in PR marketing and branding. And my main message for you today is that you can do it yourself. I'm going to teach you how to write a killer press release that will get you published in magazines, newspapers, online publications. And I'm going to start very shortly, but first I would love to know which publications or magazines do you dream to be featured in? Let me know your thoughts on Facebook. If you didn't like my page yet, I am Do-It-Yourself PR with Yael Rose. You can search on the little search bar on Facebook. There will be a post there called Where Do You Dream to be Featured? And go ahead and post your comments so I can see them while I'm going through the webinar. Also, do share this link with your friends. If you know anybody that can find this information valuable, has a small business or offers great services, then let them know. They can join us live. You can post this on your Facebook as well and invite anybody you know. Maybe they have a little bit of time and want to join us now. As I said, you can do it yourself. I've done it for my business and it had great results, and I would love you to get similar results in your business. I want you to know that your business matters, your services matter. What you do is important in the world and you want people to know about it. I always say that I can organize the best event in the world, but if nobody knows about it, it means nothing. That's what I actually say to journalists when I do press launches. So yeah, it's really extremely important that you get down to the business of promoting your business. So the results of getting published in magazines, newspapers, etc. The first one, which is really obvious, is credibility. I don't know if you see sometimes businesses and they say we've been published here, featured there. It does add kudos to what they're doing. It definitely impresses customers. It's also a great way to reach wider audience and fast. You know, one feature, I remember when I was interviewed for New York Times blog, and just to show you how naive I was when I first started, when I got the request from the journalist to interview me, I thought, who's going to read the blog? I mean, it's just a blog, but I didn't know it was the New York Times blog. So within a day, I had 100 new Facebook likes, and that was in the days when Facebook wasn't as big as now. So it was really, it made a big impact. The third result that some people want is also very valid. That's why I noted it here. Some people just want, maybe not to be a celeb, as we know celebs these days, but just celebrity status. They want to be featured, and that's also very valid. So for whatever reason you want to be published, I'm going to teach you how to do that. A little bit about myself. I have extensive PR, marketing, and branding experience. I worked in various industries, and since 2009, I've been running my own successful food festivals, including a chocolate festival and cheese and wine festival. I've done it in many cities across the UK, and my main one is in London twice a year. And through my PR campaigns, I now work with two great PR agents, but I used to do it all myself, like how I'm going to teach you to do yours. I grew the festivals to biannual events who now see 40,000 visitors a year. Today I'm going to teach you the basics of writing a killer press release. So a press release is a document that details all the basic information about your company or your services, but there is an art to writing a press release to make sure that it actually does get you published, and that's what I'm going to teach you today. So a little bit of housekeeping, just for your own benefit, close any other screens, stay focused, be present, mobile phone on silent, alerts off so you have no distractions, so you can really concentrate on what I'm teaching you today. If you want to grab, again, a piece of paper and pen, or your notebook or tablet to take some notes, then go ahead and do that. We will also send you the replay of this webinar, but just in case you want the information now. So the agenda for today, as I said, is the essential basics of writing a press release. The famous 5 W's, I don't know if you've heard about them yet, but they are famous. And how to make your press release relevant. By the time we learn these 3 things, you will know how to write a great press release. So how did I get started? Yes, this is little me. I was always had a sweet tooth. Always loved my food. This is me in a dressing up celebration. One day, after I organized a few various charity events, I got this funny idea in my head while I was watching a television program about chocolate. I wanted to create the most magical food festival, but not just any festival. I wanted to create a chocolate festival. It took me a little while to find the perfect venue. I kept looking, but by the time I found it and I found the right person and they gave me the go-ahead, I had only 9 weeks to organize this chocolate festival. I needed a miracle, and a big one. So my first miracle was, because when I started, nobody really knew me, and it was quite difficult. I needed to get some exhibitors signed up. So there's actually a festival, something for people to come and see and buy, and to get people interested. And I remember speaking with Damian Allsop, and he was great, and he came on board, and he was really enthusiastic, and he then asked Paul Wayne Gregory and William Curley to join, and they also were really, really happy to support me, and that opened a lot of doors for me. But I remember having a meeting at Canteen. This is a picture of Canteen at South Bank Center, if anybody knows that, which was the venue that I found. And I only had about 3 exhibitors who have paid me, and it was about a month before the event, and they considered cancelling it. And I knew that there would be more people, but obviously it didn't look great from their side. But I could see it. I don't know if you've ever had a vision and you started working on a project and you could just see it. You knew it's possible, but you just had to convince other people around you. So because I managed to convince South Bank Center to give me a chance and trust me and let me go ahead with it, even though there were only 3 exhibitors booked. And because I had these amazing chocolatiers behind me, it had to be a success. There was no way around it. I was a nobody when I started. I had no contacts in the relevant press. As I said, I had very short time, 9 weeks. So the only way to pull this off was to write a killer press release. I remember reading something that Jerry Halliwell said. She used to get a lot of stick in the press about different things, just gossiping about her, and she was getting very upset about it. But then she realized one day that journalists, editors, they sit every day in front of a blank piece of paper, and they need to fill it up with something. So they were just writing about her, and that's how she got over being upset about it. But then I took it to a positive side, and I thought, right, okay, so in a way, when I'm sending them a great story written in a good way, I'm actually helping editors and journalists. And I wrote a great press release, and that's when I had my second miracle, which was Time Out. Time Out is the one publication that can make or break your event. It's an international publication, and really there isn't anybody that wants to go to an event that doesn't read Time Out, and they went all out. So the picture in the middle was a whole page. It's a chocolate sculpture by Paul Gregory, which was one of the top chocolatiers that exhibited with me. And then we were the number one most clicked on event in the website, and it was Critics' Choice. So that was my second miracle. And also, due to a great press launch that we did, we were featured on television. That on the left is Peter Cockcroft, who reads the weather for BBC, and he came and read the weather from the Chocolate Festival. Also, ITV London Tonight featured it in the What Not to Miss this weekend. And as you can imagine, it was a phenomenal success. As you can see, people where it was like a sea of people, and it was extremely busy. All the exhibitors were running out of chocolate. We had some demonstrations by top chefs, and again, people were standing in a queue to see them. We had all stands selling beautiful chocolate, churros with chocolate, beautiful chocolate art by William Curley there. I did it all by myself. And now I'm going to teach you how you can do it too. And it's really, really much easier than you think. After that, I went on to further successes. I carried on writing new press releases, sending them out again. This is Start Your Business magazine that featured me. You can see that I had some nice pictures done, and I'm going to talk about the importance of pictures a little bit later on in the through this webinar. I also got to work with some great names in the industry, like Greg Wallace from MasterChef, Ed Kimber from the Great British Bake Off, and did other lovely things. So I'm going to dive straight into the content, and I'm going to tell you my secrets for writing a killer press release. First of all, as I promised, the famous 5 W's. What, who, when, where, and why. What is it can be different things depending on what you're writing on. So if you're writing about a product, then the what is your new product that you're launching. If you're writing about an event, then the what is the event. If you're writing about a service that you offer, then the what is the service. Who is normally yourself or your company. These days, a lot of company owners, they are the face of the company, so it will be mostly about yourself, but it's just important to say the name of the company, and you want also the readers to find you on Facebook or find your website, so that's important as well. You can definitely put your website address in the press release. When and where is quite obvious, so if you're just launching a product, then it's when it's going to be available. If you're doing an event, when and where is the event. If you're launching a product, then the where is where to find it, the services, where do you offer them, etc., etc. The why is another way to add some juice into the press release, and you can put a story. For example, a lot of people start a business because of a challenge that they faced, or a problem that they had, or a relative had, and the business is the solution to the problem. So a lot of times there's a great story then there, and it's great to feature it. People are really interested in stories these days. The heading of the press release. So I changed my press releases quite a lot, but at the end of the day, when I wrote about the chocolate festival or the cheese and wine festival, I was always writing about the same thing. So I had to make it different every time, so they keep on publishing me. And also a great heading, because imagine a journalist or an editor that sees a lot of press releases every day. The heading is what's going to grab them. So, really think about an interesting one, something that's a bit intriguing. If you like a certain publication or magazine, and I can see here that some of you say they want to be featured in the Huffington Post, which is an obvious one. It's like the holy grail these days. And also Evening Standard, which is a really good one. I can see some of you like the New York Times. Yes, the New York Times, as I mentioned before, is a really big one. So it's a great way of trying to capture their imagination is going on those publications, reading them, and seeing what kind of headlines they put out there and trying to mimic them. So a kid in small bedroom is just a friend of mine who is an architect, and when I asked her to write the 5 W's, she done it in quite a school essay kind of way. But I picked out that she said when she was a small kid, she was living in a small bedroom shared with, it was one room divided by 2, so it was really tiny, and she used to keep changing the furniture. And that's where her love of design started from. So I just picked that out, and I thought a great headings could be, imagine that when you open your mail and you see those headings that's trying to grab you to click on them, could be how giving your child a small bedroom can be a door for a successful career or something of that sort. So just think of something a little bit out there that will grab your attention, that you want to read it. The second thing is make it topical. So what is happening now? It's always important, when you read a little article and then at the end it says, for example, Yoko Ono is going to be exhibiting in the Victoria and Albert Museum, and you can see her this date. So whatever you're doing, again, if it's a new product launch, then that's really exciting. It's always exciting when something is new. You can also try and make things to be, invent them as new all the time. So, for example, in a case of an event, it's very easy because the dates change. Or if it's a service that you've offered for a while, but now you offered a new program, then that's interesting. So you can say, this is the launch date of the program. So in a way, you're kind of making up why it's topical. Your best story, so that's mainly in the why section. Really, it's when you have a business, then you can't really be too shy about yourself, and don't ever think that you're not interesting or nobody cares, because people do want to know your story. They want to know what inspired you, and you can also think what is unique about you that your competitors don't do, but everybody has a story and an interesting one too. So really, dive deep and don't be shy and just put it out there. Believe me, people do care. Think about when you visit websites. I personally always go to the about page and I want to know about the person. So, don't be scared to put that out there. Another example is, how do you find your best story? So again, as I said, when I always did, the chocolate festival and cheese and wine festival, it's the same thing repeating all over again, but I had to kind of reinvent the wheel, so to make sure that they write about it again. So for example, one year I just said, this cheese and wine festival is all about cheeses of the world. Now there was cheeses from all over the world there before, or mostly from Europe, but I just used that as the hook. As a reason for them to write about it again. And also chocolate art exhibition, then one time I would focus on that if I had a nice new piece of art, chocolate art, then I would focus on that. And that's again a reason to write about the same old thing, but just from a new angle. A picture is worth 1,000 words. It's a bit funny that I put it here after a lot of slides without pictures, but I just wanted your full concentration. But really, a picture can make a big difference. If you see some pieces in the magazine and sometimes they're a little bit bigger or they grab your attention, personally, I always gravitate towards the pieces with the pictures first, and especially in this day and age with Instagram, Facebook, we know pictures work. So do invest in good pictures. It's really worth it. Pictures of yourself, pictures of your products. Everybody know a photographer friend or a stylist that can help them do that in the beginning if you can't afford it. When you can afford it, now that you've saved all this money on doing your own PR, then I really, really do recommend to get yourself some great pictures. Don't forget to mention in the press release that pictures are available on request. You don't send them with the press release, but the journalist will come back to you if they're interested to get pictures. And as I said, it's a great way of making your little piece in a magazine or newspaper, or big, as you've seen in Start Your Business magazine. It ended up being a 4-page spread just because I had great pictures. How do they contact you? This may seem a little bit stupid, but I have heard of people who wrote great press releases and sent it, and when the journalist wanted to contact them to ask them maybe one more question, they couldn't find how to get hold of them. So make sure you put your contact details in there. It's really, really important. And also journalists often work on tight deadlines and they want the information now and they want it fast. So make sure to be available in those whatever contact details that you leave. It's really important. So now that you know all about the 5 W's, make sure you always include those 5 W's because, again, as I said, sometimes they work on tight deadlines. They're not going to contact you. They're just going to grab a press release that has everything they need in there. So make sure that all the information is there. Make it topical, make it really, really interesting, make it juicy, make it a great story, and people will publish you. Also, make sure that the grammar and punctuation and everything is to the point. Okay, so what do you do with your press release now? Because it's great to have a good press release, but it's really important to know how to send it, who to send it to. There is an art to that as well, and that's why I put together a piece of a training that I believe will be of great value to you if you want to know a little bit more about or everything you need to know about what to do with your press release. I've called the course PR DIY. You can do it yourself. You can learn all the vital tools for successfully managing your own PR and getting your business noticed by key media and press. You will learn what to do with your press release, who do you send it to and when, how often you can send the release. I will teach you how to research and find key people, how to communicate with them, because that's really important as well. Follow-up strategies. Follow-up is everything in PR. And there's a little testimonial here from Rosie Patterson, who founded Live in Rosie. She said, I just wanted to share with you and your wonderful community that DIY PR does work. I was featured in London's Evening Standard magazine through my own efforts a couple of months ago. Since then, I've been interviewed for German state television, been invited to speak at McKinsey, and I just now sold my first high-end coaching package, high 4 figures, wow, to come directly through this one piece of DIY PR. Yeah, your work is awesome. Thank you very much. So the benefits of doing my PR DIY course. Accountability, because you know that sometimes you take things on and you don't pursue them, you don't carry on. I want to make sure that you do this. I want to make sure that you actually action and you get yourself published, that it's not just a dream, that it actually happens for you. I'm also going to be sharing my winning press release template. It's just to show the kind of layout and how I lay things out that really works for me, and it works for me every single time. I also put together a simple schedule that works, again, to make sure that you do all the follow-ups that you need to do and everything is in good timing and you don't forget anything. Another great resource that you get in the course is a Facebook group, which again, you get continual support from myself and my team, which is really invaluable, because if you get through difficult situations or you have some questions, then we are there to help you. Who is this for? So the people who I really believe I can help with this course, people who have a great product or service to offer, something of really high value, not in money, but something that's really great, really interesting, new, or just fabulous. If you have a great product or you're really good at what you do, then this course can really help you. Also, you need to be ready to grow your business to the next level, focused on your goals and willing to put in the work, because it does take some effort, and to make the most of this course you need to be willing to put in a little bit of time and effort. But as I said, you will save quite a lot of money, because I'm so sure that if you answer all these criteria, I know this is going to help you, and I know that you're going to have a great press release out there, and I'm sure that you can get published. I offer a 30 days money back guarantee from the day that you purchase my course. If you're not happy, within 30 days you can get all your money back. So the value of my course is £397. The press release template is £97. The Facebook group support, as I said, is priceless. And the total value is £494. But if you buy today, you only pay £97, which is really great value. You can start signing up now and go ahead and press the sign up button. The course is going to last about 4 weeks of teaching and then a 5th week of summary. So you really get good value for it. If you press the sign up now button, you can also see the full curriculum. Before the course starts, I also send an orientation pack, which gets you going, and you get lots of great questions to get you all set up for the live sessions with me, which again, you can have some Q&A in the live session as well. For the first 10 people that purchase the £97 course, I'm offering a £500 value one-on-one consultation with me. This is only limited to the first 10 people who buy this product now. And in this consultation, I will take a look at your press release. I will help you edit it, make sure that it's the best that it can be. I will help you think who you're going to send it to and help you find out how you can find the key people to send it to. So it's really great to have the opportunity for one-on-one consultation with me. It's a whole hour where I spend just with you working on your business. So now we're going to finish the webinar in 5 minutes, but I'm going to try and answer some of your questions on Facebook. If you have any questions now, then go ahead and post them. I will try and answer as many as I can. Let me see some of the questions. So someone is asking, how do I start? Where do I even start? Okay, that's a great question. Well, as I said, the first thing to do is what I'm doing in the orientation is just think about who are you, what do you do, what is it that you most want to advertise to the world. And it does take some deep thinking, and I do use certain questions to help you think and really get that straight in your head, because that's the main thing to start with. The second one is, you can watch the replay of this webinar and start drafting a really good press release. If your grammar is not the best, or any spelling mistake, etc., that's not a great way of sending a press release. So find someone that can help you read that. And yeah, you can read it to some people and see it to friends or family and see how interesting they find it. And also, maybe if you know any journalists, you can send it to them to see what they think, or just start to think who you want to send it to. But the best way to start really is just figuring out who you are and what you want to promote, and go from there. Let me see if there's any other questions. I love shortlists. Okay, shortlist, and I would love to go on there. Well, shortlist is what we call a long lead publication. So they work a few months in advance. So the first thing I would do after you're done, obviously the course is a great way to do the orientation and help you even further to write a good press release. But if you just phone them, or maybe they have some information online, and find out what is their deadline, how far in advance do they work. So this is something really important to think about, and I talk about it much more in my advanced training in the course. But no, some publications, for example, if you want to send a press release that will be published for Christmas, in the glossy magazines, what's called, the monthlies, the long lead is sometimes a 6 months lead time, which means that you have to send it to them in June. So you really, and the Christmas issues sometimes come out in November. So you really have to know your deadlines and plan your PR campaigns in advance. I would talk about it much more in the advanced training in the course, but do bear that in mind. That's of utmost importance to know. Think backwards. So when do you want to launch your campaign, and then you go from there, and then you send your press release on time. Because the worst thing is that you planning this whole amazing event or product launch or starting a program, and then you find out that you missed all the deadlines. There is still obviously short lead press that you can reach as well, but sometimes it's just nice to be in the glossy ones as well. Let's see if there's any other good questions out there. What about online? Yes, online is another thing that I cover. Online, as we know, is really big. Everything is turning to be online. Most people read their newspaper on their tablets now, on their Kindle. So again, there is, it's a whole different ball game online, but the principles are very similar. You always have to have a great story. You have to have a great press release, and you have to know who are the key people. You have to find their contact details, and you have to follow them up properly. So again, I'm talking about all of this in much more detail in my advanced training. So do go ahead and sign up, and I'm sure you're not going to be disappointed. It's going to be a lot of fun. I bring examples from my own experience and from current stories, and answer questions at the end of each session. And then at the end, I also offer a 2-hour bonus Q&A where you can ask me anything you wish. So thank you very much for being with me today. It's been great being with you. I hope you had a great time, and I hope to meet you in my course.